Okay, I'm looking at calls right now. I got into a call for the upside. I'm posting it right now into the chat. All right, let's go through the list. Let's go through everything. For today, so far, the idea is we want to see if the market's going to be able to pick up to the high of 640. You're right next to 634. So the first goal is to hit 636 right now. Then we want to run into 638, 639 potentially today. And then after all said and done, we want to see if we could potentially dump some of the profit into some Intel longs a couple weeks out. Okay, we're already up 20%. This is the 635s. Next trade we're going to get into is going to be around 9:45, if not 10:10. 10:10 news. In terms of downside, make it simple, make it easy for you to understand. If you go below 633, you're looking for more downside basically. How much strike prices is that? That is 1, 2, 3 strike prices. Yeah. Okay. Let's check Intel real quick. Check Tesla as well. Target's doing pretty good. Let me see. What else can we do here? Yeah, so for Tesla, remember everybody, I have 340s right now. If you have 320s or 330s and you're already in the money for Tesla, you have two options right now. If this is the first time you've ever been up this much, you're just going to take profit. Because we're up a really good amount right now. Nvidia's crashing here, so let's go check SPY. Let's see if SPY's changing directions. Okay, I can't color this zone yet. This zone here, I could probably color, yeah. Actually. We can color this one. It depends. This one might turn purple. So it all depends. With today's price action and the rest of this week's price action, we'll probably be able to fully color this finally. For now, we can't color them because there's not enough data yet. I hope everybody understands that. So we're just waiting right now. But if this turns purple, this would be a really good area. If I think, now that I think about it, right? Because you turn this purple, then this is gold. But then again, you need another purple. One of these has to be purple. I think this white one's going to be purple. Because you fell off of it over here. You fell off of it right here. You held on it for a second. You fell below it over here. After you smacked the bottom of it. You fell below it over here as well a little bit. So yeah, maybe the white one down here is golden. And you're just using a not golden, but it's purple. But you're just using the purple area as support for right now, basically. Does that make sense, everybody? So that's kind of how I look at these zones right now. I'm thinking you're still going to explode. I know the momentum is definitely on the bullish side. For sure. So that's the reason why we also went with calls right away. We're just going to play for the market just to run up to number 3 or 4 to the upside. Just like how we played puts over here going from 632 straight down to 627. Same idea. Yesterday you pretty much crashed as well. So now that yesterday you crashed, Friday was supposed to be red like last week. Friday was really red, but I'm thinking you're going to get a switch. I'm thinking this time it's going to be really green. And then once you run up to the top, you're going to sit up here for maybe the whole entire day. And then after that, we're going to drop out the sky at least once or twice today, if not tomorrow, which is Monday. So I'm thinking Monday we'll crash out the sky. So we'll see. Oh, I'm back. Yeah, I wrapped myself up in like a cocoon last night, and the mosquito still got me. That thing, I don't know, for some reason, maybe it's because I'm sleeping, the mosquito bites are not going away. I don't know. I don't know what's happening. Ah! This shit is so itchy. I don't know what's going on. But yeah, tell me how in my dream last night I was teaching people how to trade the damn midpoint. That's how you could tell I've been doing this for way too much last week. It's the only thing my brain is thinking about. By the way, everybody, we did the whole entire Dow Jones yesterday. I did every single Dow stock that you could possibly think of. They're all done. As you can see, let me go down the list so everybody can see this together. Some names are done more than others. Like, of course, the Mag 7 is done the most. As you all can see. When Microsoft ran up, the reason why Microsoft actually stopped at that specific point at 554 was just because it was the 1/8 point. Look at how it perfectly stopped at that dotted line. Now you fell, where are you perfectly stopping at? 519, which is points that we had laid out months before you even got here, right? Months before you even got here. Actually, we had these locations from the 11th of July. Actually, no. This box goes as far back as where? Let me see. Yeah, that's crazy. This box goes as far back as down here. As you all can see, look at that. So this is from November 2021 to the bottom of 2022. Just using that range right there, it's literally listening to 2021 and 2022's range on Microsoft. But again, you would never know that unless you have a certain trading style that's, unique enough to be able to work on any name the same way. It's just, of course, different lines, different trajectories, different things involved, yes, but the raw structure is basically the same. That's why when I shift from all these names, you can all see how easily with just a few wedge lines, I already know what the whole entire market's going to do. This is what I want you to understand. Now I could trade the whole entire Dow Jones right now, and it's going to end up working out really, really, really well. Look at this. IBM. Actually, no, IBM I got to finish. Yeah, IBM was the only company I didn't finish last night. I love how you're listening to the line that I had drew, which was to fall from 290 down to 240. Now IBM is going to run right back up to 270, and then you're going to possibly crash a little bit lower. For CRMs, which is Salesforce, as you can all see, look at these levels. You basically, you hit the 1/8 point, then you hit the 1/4 point. Now you're right in between. So if you drop beneath the 1/8 point, you're going to hit the 1/2 point. If you hold above the 1/8 point, you're going to now run to 289 on Salesforce. Then you have Boeing. We have all of our perfect Boeing levels. See, the reason why Boeing ran up to the midpoint or ran here was because I just gave it away, but it was the midpoint. And then you see how you ran from down here? Well, you recently hit the 1/4 point all the way down here in 2022. Then you went right by it again in 2025 after you were just sitting up here in 2024 at the midpoint. So 2024, you were just stuck at that midpoint. Now you're back at that midpoint. So you could run up to the 1/4 point up here, which is 334. The only thing I don't have right here is price labels. So we're going to add that later, not today. I just wanted to keep it like raw structure. Keep it simple to understand. Amazon is probably my most well done chart I have ever created. Look at how well done this is, everybody. You have every single possible monthly box, weekly, yearly. Everything is here. Every single aspect. Look at this. I even have it all written underneath the box so you can understand how to see which box that, time frame is dating back to. Take, for example, when Amazon ran to the top up here just a few days ago, I told everybody, you're going to fall. And then look where you fell. Right back down to this perfect area, 212. I'm not saying that to be sarcastic, by the way. I'm saying that because people, they don't honestly believe in these levels at all. They don't want to make the charts. Many people in the Discord don't do the classes. So it's a little bit bittersweet, to say the least, because if everybody did these charts, they would have all these levels and they would have hundreds of entries. The way it makes it seem is that everybody just wants to go off of my ideas and my trades that I'm giving that day, which is fine with me. I have no problem with that because obviously you're paying to be in a Discord. However, it's time for everybody here to start getting their own plays because of what I've taught you. And it's time for you to detach your butterfly wings and fly out the nest. That's what it's time for. The only people who should be in this Discord are the people who really need the help and the people who really just want to be here because they think of this as a family. Everybody else got to go. So make sure you get what you came here for, which was whatever trading style you wanted. And again, if you're not planning on staying here for the long term, make sure you learn as quickly as possible so you don't have to give me any money, right? Or you could pay for 2 months, 3 months, and then you're going to leave the 4th, 5th month. That's the way it should work. And that's pretty much it. I want everybody here to be very cognizant of what they're paying for, right? And only if you want to continue to pay for it while you're growing. Let's just say we have a professional, right? Somebody turns into a really good trader and they're making 20, 30, 40,000. If they want, they could stay in the Discord. I'm fine with that. But if everybody's just stuck at that first level, I'm not fine with that. It's like dirty money, And we don't want dirty money here. We only want money that's coming from a correct source, from people who are correctly learning. That's how it works here, everybody. Most people in my shoes, they wouldn't do what I'm doing, but that's exactly why they're not me. It's exactly why I'm me. Because nobody's ever going to do what I'm doing. All right, so Tesla's still running up higher. I'm not going to sell my Tesla. You guys know how I am with Tesla. Our SPY options are up 50%, by the way, but I don't feel like looking at SPY all day today, honestly. I feel like looking at other names. As you all can see, SPY's getting bought up. We knew it, though, right? We talked about it in the morning. Rewind the video so you can understand how I knew that. It has to deal with weekly flow. If you want me to simply explain it real quick within 5 seconds. Look at Tuesday, right? Down. Look at Wednesday, up. Look at Thursday, down. Look at Friday, up. That's really it. It's just back and forth, back and forth. So today looks like it's going to be the really bullish call day. And that's really it. And then you start factoring the weekly boxes and all that other jazz and nonsense and yada, yada, yada. You get it. We're up 70% right now, everybody. That means I should be able to sell this contract out at about, let's see how much money. Give me all the monies. Let's see what's going on here. All right, so if we hit number 4, we're going to go in the money. Going in the money would mean I will be making about, how much money am I making? We got to make back some of those plays from yesterday. We got to make back the cost for the SPX play. And then we got to get a new SPX play. And I already know how we're going to do it better than yesterday. But again, you have to wait. You have to wait. You have to wait. You have to wait and see. You're gonna love this. Let me tell ya. I was literally walking around the block for hours trying to figure out what's a better way that we could play this stuff. And I'm pretty sure I found it out. I figured it out. Not found it out. Is it found it out? Or when I said figured it out? I'd probably say figured. Everybody, I'm up 100% already. I'm going to take my profit here. $106%. I'm going to put my trailing stop loss now. 110%. Okay, I sold it at 110%, everybody. Because the market's still potentially going to move fast here, I'm going to look at the put side real quick. Just for a quick little scalp play. I'm getting a 633 put. I just bought a 633 put, everybody. 633. Alrighty. On the 633 puts that we just bought, we're already up 5% here, everybody. Nice. Telling ya, nobody does it better than us. We're the best trading team in the world. I can guarantee that. Make sure you feel it in your bones as well as I do. All right, so now let's ignore this for a couple minutes again, just like we did earlier. Let's go look at something else to trade. Tesla, you're at 329. Oh my goodness, Tesla, keep it going. How much am I up right now? I am up 4,000 on Tesla, 220% right now. We bought each one for 130. Right now they're at 450 each. They expire on August 15th. They're for 340s. So the total cost for everything was 1.3K, 1,380, and right now total market value is going to be 4,500. So that right there, that's a nice down payment for a car, for a home, for anything, a trip, vacation, just like that. Just like that, everybody. So of course, what you would do in this situation is, because the 340s are a little far. Well, I don't really care about these, so that's the first thing. If you have to recognize, is even if I don't sell this out and I lose 20,000, I'm the type of a person where I would just look around and just be like, all right, what lesson can I learn from that? If I can't learn a lesson and it was just stupid, oh no, yeah, I'm going to have a bad day. If it was just me doing something, and I used to do that all the time. I used to lose 15,000 here, 10,000 there, and I'd be like, all right, what was the purpose of that? Was there none? All right, let's not do that again. Just like that, honestly. You don't got to do nothing crazy and wild. We were just up 20% right there on the SPY puts. Remember, we're using the reversal points to trade. If you need to understand why I know how to get into puts and why I know how to get into calls, you need to book an appointment for a one-on-one. That's what you need to do right now. If you have no idea still, you need to have a one-on-one with me. Once we go above number 2, the first thing you're going to look for is it to run up to number 4, just like we told you in the morning. Let me check the weekly ranges real quick. Let me check all of them. Yeah, look at that, everybody. Everybody, what point are you about to hit right now? 636, which is your weekly quarter point. So just be careful, because if you get a cent above this weekly quarter point, I am warning everybody here. You all can hear me very loud and clear. I told everybody yesterday the market was going to bounce up. I told everybody. So if you didn't buy down here, it just simply means, again, you need to pay more attention. We told everybody as soon as it hit around 12 o'clock, 11 o'clock, the market looks like it might not pull up. So we're going to just focus on a bunch of 1-day options and 5-day options. Right now, our 5-day SPX plays. We got a 1-day, actually. 1-day SPX play. Let me see how much we're up on that one. So that one, we're actually down on it. You were up for a second, though. You're at 190 right now. SPX. So, yeah, if we run up to this high, these SPX options that expire to... yep, now we're up 1,000. We were just down 800. Now we're up 1,000. 2,000 now. Just like that. Just because you just ran up a little bit more. I'm just going to take profit here on the SPX. I'm not going to play with it. So again, I already made back everything that I needed to spend on my other account. I made it all back already. Every single loss. With the bigger account, of course. Now we're going to sell the Tesla. Just so I don't have to pay attention to it no more. I'm just going to sell everything. Everything that's profitable. Tesla's gone. SPX is gone. The calls are gone. What else do we gotta get rid of? Jinx, what are you eating over there? Why are you eating something in the corner? Looks like you're trying to hide something from me. I swear, they're just like a baby. They steal something and go eat it in the corner. She's just eating the floor for no reason. All right. Let's go back to the reversal points. All right, everybody, you're slightly above number 2 now, in between 2 and 3. You did not consolidate at 2 here. So read the rules, right? If number 2 has no reaction and you go right through it, you tend to have a greater reversal off of number 3. We also have some members on the Discord that love playing calls from number 2 to 4. That's their own personal trading style. So it's pretty nice, right? Remember, I'm not playing no calls, not anymore. I already got my 100% with the call side. Now I want to get my 100% or 50% with the put side. This is going to be a little bit harder, but that's fine. It'll make us learn a lot more. Yeah, a lot of bullishness right now. All right, so I'm going to keep you here. I'm going to use the restroom real quick, and I'll go from there. right, everybody, we're at number 3 now. Options are down 25%. The ones that we just bought at reversal point number 2. So Mansa, would that be Mansa, do you need help doing your notes?
No, I'm doing the I'm kind of doing what Johan did. I'm doing that right now.
Got it. The only reason why is because before you get into a first trade, the rules in my Discord are you got to post the notes for future reference. Yeah, we only had AC, Culinary, John, AC. Yeah, AC even posted in the morning yesterday before the market opened up, which is fine. Only 1, 2, 3, 4 people. 4 people out of 25 people. That's 20%. We'll leave it at that. I'm sure you guys understand how that makes me feel. For those of you doing it, again, thank you. If you need help doing it, I expect you to ask, of course. Yeah, you could just run up to the tippity top here if you don't get above this midpoint. I'm expecting a little tiny reversal here, and then we'll be able to sell the puts for break even, if not some little profit. And then we'll be able to hop into another call, more upside, and then boom. So far, we're correct about the market movement. It looks like it's changing from last week, Friday. So again, you're getting a change in price action here, everybody. All right, let's take a look at some SPX contracts. I want to see their values right now. So this one opened up at $70 this morning, and right now you're at $330. How about these right here? These went from 50 to 200 each. see. How about these? $20 to 80 each. It's like 150, 160% right there. You would have made if we chose that over the SPY in the morning. Yeah, the flow is clearly there, but the momentum is not really shooting in yet. Not yet, at least. Once we get above 636, we should start rapidly running up higher. So for the first options from this morning, we bought them around 25. Right now they're around, I think 300% here. Let me check. Check. Yeah, so right now they're around $90. We bought the first one for 25. So you're already basically up 300% here, which you knew what was going to happen, but we took 100% to make ourselves suffer just a little bit off of reversal point number 2 for a quick little reversal. But you didn't get nothing on number 2, you didn't get nothing on number 3, so I'm sure you all understand. If this continues to trend here, you're going to get a bigger reversal on number 4, or you're just going to continue to run up on top of number 4, going on top of number 5, going to number 8. Take, for example, yesterday when you fell down. What do the rules say? The rules say if it goes past the 4th and 5th reversal point, you're going to buy the play, put $10 to $20 into the continuing direction for an additional $2.50 move against it to number 8, then back to number 6. So for everybody who played calls yesterday, I mean, just look at this. Number 8, back to number 6. You even ran up to number 5, and the next day you ended up running higher, which we knew was going to happen. That's the reason why we bought the calls at number 4 down here and number 5, as you can see. So if you do the opposite reaction, you could just run all the way up here to a new high potentially, which is right at number 8 now. So yeah, this is pretty nice. So remember, if you're playing puts or calls in the middle, remember the reason why you're doing it. There has to be a reason. If you're just willy-nilly getting into the options, like for example, right? That first play for today, what I want to see for tomorrow is going to be, I want to see you guys basically scaling up your capital. I want you guys to put in a little bit more capital. Just what else can we do here? What else needs to change? So the amount of capital a person puts into their trade, that needs to change. John did something that was proper today. Look at how he got his contract. 637. It's a call that does not expire today. So I want you all to notice something. John did not play a 0-day call today. He played a Monday call today. That right there, that's awesome. Tells me John's not after the quick little short money. Tells me John's after something much bigger. The only thing that would kind of cement John playing those calls right there, the only thing that would cement it and make it even better is if he bought multiple. But let's see. Maybe he's planning on doing that. Maybe he's just testing out the waters, right? But when you guys trade 0 days, if you're only buying one, and I don't even see you trying to post on the $1 million account section. Like for example, if you go to the $1 million account section, I purposely post sometimes and don't post some days and some weeks, because I want to see if anybody's motivated to do this. So far, John's the only person that posted here in the past month. So yeah, you guys just gotta work with me here. What do you guys even want to do? Because when I have one-on-ones, I know what the goal is personally for you guys, but I mean, not really following with what you want to do. It's kind of like you're randomly trading. So let me go into the notes and let me see what you guys were saying here earlier, so I can track everything down now. So Miss Michelle, she was talking about calls there to there, AC. We still gotta fix those notes, brother. If you didn't trade yesterday, that's completely fine. If you're not gonna trade today, you don't need to do your notes for today. But yeah, you always need to do your notes for the morning whenever you're gonna trade that day. If you're not gonna trade, you could just literally put into the chat you're not trading, and I'll understand, of course. Stuck at that weekly point. Feels like we're on a surfboard right now. We're surfing the waves. Can you guys feel it? You fell down from number 3.5 to number 2.5. Now you're back at number 3. Let's see if you're now going to make a newer high. Okay, I'm going to buy another NVIDIA put 14 days out. I'm literally just going to keep having these things in rotation. Okay, so there's two ways to trade SPX. Cheap $15 option. Or straight up something $100 to $200. These $80 options went to $400 right there on the pump up. So let my my brain's like factoring everything in right now. I'm going to create another style of trading for us here right now. So that would have been calls there, so we could do it that much. I'll have to, man, that's a lot of factors. I gotta like look at so many parameters just now, such as like the averaging down, the insurance, the notes. Everything's gonna be a little different. But yeah, let's do it. What I'm basically saying to you right now is I'm creating a reversal chart for the futures, which is gonna work for SPX, allowing us to trade SPX more. Listen, we've been trading SPY for over 4 years. I could promise you guys the amount of profit we could make with SPX with the same options, the same cost that we spend on SPY options, $60, $30, $15. I can guarantee you guys that as long as we can formalize a structured way of doing this so we don't overuse capital in any certain circumstance, meaning there's proper ways to average down. If you have a $1,000 account, you're not just going to buy a $1,000 SPX option. You're going to get something for like 20 or 50 or 60. Try to turn into like 300-400 with that one play. And that's it. So basically, it's like you're using 10% of your account to make half of your account. Do you know how ridiculous that is? That right there gives you a bunch of opportunities, which is going to allow you to learn more. So that's what I want. A situation like that. I'm shorting the Forex market now. Forex. Okay, so first thing is first, ladies and gentlemen. The first thing I want to see here is Tesla. Tesla real quick. Amazon. We don't care about you right now. Disney. Walmart. Whatever the hell this is. Nike. What is this? Coca-Cola. Is there any good names that we could trade from the Dow? Travelers Company. Sounds stupid. I'm just playing. Imagine. McDonald. Yeah, all these things, they just look ass to me. They're all stuck in the same location. You all know that, right? Look at all these stocks. They're all literally stuck on the same trend. This is like ridiculous. So what this means is that if I just make a Dow chart, which, cough, cough, ladies and gentlemen, we already have. Meaning if I go over here and then I go to the Dow Jones, which I have no idea. There it is. I must say, I have no idea where I put it. Well, I actually never copied and pasted it here to this account. It's all still on my other account, which is this account right here. Let me show you. So as you all can see, the Dow Jones is one of the most completed charts that I've ever built. I spent probably about 4 hours recently, a couple months ago, just fixing this one chart here. So if I go to the 1 hour, right, and I zoom out here, you'll be able to easily see how I'm doing the charting here. As you all can see. So that new high that you ran into on the Dow, remember everybody, that new high that you hit on July 24th was something I told everybody was going to happen. And then I told everybody you were going to get sold off and potentially then run up above it. But you just sold off way back down to the bottom here. And you're holding on these lines, which are the wedge lines from a couple years ago on the Dow Jones, right? So we're basically timing the whole entire market's moving in the correct direction now. Not just a singular stock. At first it was just SPY and just a singular stock. But now I'm able to actually time the whole entire sector. So I want you guys to understand that. That's the reason why we do all this charting, is because when you finish the DARP charts on all companies that are on the Dow Jones, all 30 companies, you can then look at stuff from a bird's eye view and see what's the difference. You'll be able to tell, all right, wait a second. McDonald's is a little bit lower. It's a little bit more bearish than this company is. Or one of those other companies that's on the Dow. NVIDIA, right? NVIDIA is also on the Dow. You could be like, all right, NVIDIA looks weak in this way, shape, and form, so maybe it might mean that the Dow Jones is going to do this, this, and this. That's the only way you actually get better as a trader, is by coming up with hypotheticals, testing it, and then seeing if it works out. But the most important thing is to use the same trading style so that you can see where stuff starts to even deviate in the first place. You wouldn't know a stock is deviating from anything at all unless you have the same chart done on all of them. Does that make sense, everybody? Because every stock has its own price. Every stock has its own high. However, every stock also has its own midpoint, 1/4 point, 1/2 point. And if they're all hitting their respected 1/2, 1/4, 1/8 points in their own due time, what that means is that they're all properly following each other. It's just at different times, different days, different months. Then we could start using that to our benefit. Like imagine if I know NVIDIA is going to blow up because of the Dow Jones, or let's just say we remove NVIDIA. Let's say I'm talking about Home Depot, right? Home Depot's on the Dow Jones. If I think Home Depot is going to blow up, I could be like, wait a second. What about the cat company that, you know, makes all that machinery? What if Home Depot blows up 1 month and then 2 weeks later, then cat's going to blow up? Well, I'm sure you understand what I'm going to do next, and that's play both of them in their own respected manners. That's what I do with Tesla. That's what I do with SPY. That's what I do with NVIDIA. That's why when you hear me say I'm going to get into an NVIDIA put, you don't hear me say, all right, same time, I'm going to buy SMCI put, Intel put, AMD put. I'm not trying to play the whole sector, because you can't play all, you know, names of a sector at the same time. You can't do that unless you're trying to trade the ETF of like a semiconductor. But for the most part, you don't really want to play groups of names in that same field, because usually you're asking for a recipe for disaster. That's if, again, you don't have these other charts. Since we do have these other charts done, some of them more done than others, as you all can see. When the ES ran up today, why did it stop at this point? Well, the ES stopped specifically at this point, ladies and gentlemen, because you're at the 1/2 point. So ES, you're doing the same thing as SPY. Look at this. Ready for this? Look at the ES chart. And now look at SPY. ES, you're at the 1/4 point. SPY, you're a little bit above it. So now what I could do is I could be like, all right, SPY's above the weekly range, but ES is below the quarter range. Like SPY is above the 75% point, ES is below the 75% point. So let's see. What if ES gets above that 75% point and then the whole entire market starts launching upwards? I'm going to write that down and I'm going to be like, all right, now every single day I'm going to start looking at the ES midpoint and weekly ranges, and I'm going to be comparing it over SPY to take this to the next level, you know? Other than that, ladies and gentlemen, we went short on the futures right there. We played some more downside. I told everybody when I got into my last short on the futures channel, if you want to go check it out, I told everybody go long. The reason why I told them to go long was because of the EMA strategy, right? When I used to trade futures back in the day, I used to scalp off the EMAs, and it would be the most annoying and time-consuming thing in the world. However, you would literally never be down. So as you all can see, you hit the pink line and then you ran up here. You could sell out your ES longs, and now you could potentially go short on the ES. However, just take it slow. Take it real slow. If you're going to go short, use number 4 as a stop loss on the reversal points. If you don't know what number 4 is, again, book your one-on-ones, book your appointments. Let's get this rocking and rolling. I'm going to go short here again. As soon as it taps into number 4, I'm instantly going short at market price for ES. This is so I could test it. Actually, I'm choosing to go short here. We're not going to hesitate. My body instantly pressed that. Alrighty. We like those entries. We're up $300 already. If we go past number 4, we're just going to sell out for a loss. And then we're going to go long above number 4. How much are we down? We're break even still. Now we're down 100. Now we're break even again. Down 100 again. If it goes break even one more time, we're just going to leave it for a second and go look at another name. All right, this is just going to be annoying. Let's go look at something else. We have our stop set, so we don't got to watch no more. We'll just let it rock. Let it rock out. Tesla's at 334, just like we thought. We're going to go short on Tesla soon. So again, we're about to start buying the puts on Tesla real soon here. We're up $500 on the ES short now. So again, we're going to hold that for a second. I'm going to go to Tesla. The puts that I'm wanting to buy on Tesla are... Again, everybody, remember, please remember, we pointed out these levels for Tesla for you a couple days ago, and look at how you're perfectly at 334, 333. You're literally hitting every single perfect level. Yesterday, you hit the 320s, right? We were completely correct about that. You didn't do nothing weird, nothing odd. You just listened to it. Today, you're at the quarter point. If you get above this, you're going to go to the top point. This is where we're going to get our puts. Why would we buy puts there? Is because if you fell from the same level over here, and you didn't run up to it over here, but you fell down to the bottom of the box, the bottom of the triangle. Ladies and gentlemen, even if you do not hit the top of a triangle, if you're still going to turn around and then make a U-turn and correctly listen to the bottom like it's a set of guardrails, that tells me that the top is still working. So while we run up here, you must understand, if you're getting a put right now, it is absolutely a stupid idea. Why? Two reasons, right? One reason is you are not at the complete perfect area to buy puts at. Meaning the market could just run all the way right back up to the high, and you could be up here buying the puts at a cheaper price. Second reason would honestly only be if you haven't scaled your account. So if you're not properly scaling your account with Tesla, meaning if you don't buy Monday, let's say I buy one option. By Wednesday or Tuesday or Thursday, I got to be buying 3 to 4 options. By Friday, Monday, Tuesday of next week, I got to be buying at least 10 different options of Tesla. Tesla, you could literally turn your... That's the reason why, by the way, I know you all know this. We talk about this all the time. But when I first turned my account when I was 21 years old, from 3K to 100K, I only turned it from 3K to around 20K with SPY. 18, you could say, maybe a little bit less, actually. I think in total, I was up maybe around like 11 to 12,000 on SPY out of that whole entire 100,000. All that money was from Tesla. I kid you not, everything was from Tesla. So I learned how to trade Tesla first, basically, is what I'm trying to tell you all. I know how to trade it more efficiently than SPY. And it's only because of how much money is in this company. You know? This company is amazing. I don't care who says what, or who releases an article, or what person downgrades Tesla to a lower investment, or to a buy, or to a neutral rating. None of that stuff matters. 99% of these people that are online, they have no idea what they're talking about. They're talking out the side of their neck, putting stuff down. That's the first reason why you don't hear me talk bad about no stock ever. There's very few stocks that I would ever talk, something bad about. And it's because sometimes, you know what I mean, you can't predict if a company is going to be able to change the board, change the structure, and be able to actually be profitable again. But it happens. I've seen it happen to me. So when you have a company like Tesla that's this efficient, you can't play with it in terms of not investing into it. Every single person here you're investing into your future right now. Tesla is a big just situation that's going to unravel in the next couple years here in terms of technology that, yeah, everybody needs to pay attention to it. Take, for example, when Elon first built his factory in Nevada, the battery factory, most people don't know this, but the cost of batteries around the world were very expensive. So you know what Elon did? And I mean, what person thinks like this? Not to toot my own horn. I feel like sometimes I think like this with the stocks. But this is what Elon did. He was like, all right, batteries are too expensive. Let's make a whole entire battery factory and let's basically oversupply the world with batteries. So when he did that, of course, what occurred? The price of batteries literally fell out the sky because it was such a big supply of batteries that now he was paying a cheaper price to make the batteries. Imagine that. You know, like how much like levels that, you know how depth in terms of like not depth, but you know how deep that is in terms of interpretation of growth? Nobody really understands that. Like that's how crazy Elon is with the growth of this company. Is he literally changes worldly sectors so that it's cheaper for him to, build, buy, and for other people to build and buy. Same thing with solar panels. Same thing with electric vehicles, right? The batteries, the different parts. Same thing with lithium. Same thing with battery chemicals. Same thing with, certain electrical systems that are in the car. The point that I'm trying to make here is that going into the future, this company is not going nowhere. I don't care if Elon gets assassinated. At this point, it doesn't matter. Only because of the structure and the people he put in place to actually grow this company. That's why this thing keeps running up and falling out the sky, then running up and then falling out the sky, and then Trump talks bad, but who cares? Let the whole world talk bad about this company, and I promise you it'll still be on top. So, yeah. The only reason why I feel so strongly about Tesla is because when I made all that capital and all that money, I was trying to really show people how you could do the same thing. Because, just look at these trends here for Tesla. When it starts following a weekly trend like this, like by the third or fourth day, you instantly know what this is going to do. You instantly can understand it. If it falls below this certain range it's going to fall out the sky. Just like over here. Once you get to the bottom again, after you already at the bottom, tells you might start curving downwards. So there's various ways to look at Tesla and to trend it, or to trade it, right? Off the trends. But the most important thing is to understand what this company is so you can have confidence in buying it. Even when you're shorting it and you're playing puts against it, you have to understand 99% of people do not understand what you know. That's how you have to trade. You can't trade in a way. You know how I used to trade in the beginning? I used to trade in a way thinking like the whole entire world knew all the information that I knew. Meaning the whole entire world would sit there for 6 to 8 hours a day after the market closes to then chop up and look at Tesla. And obviously we all know that's not the case. Nobody's going to do that. Everybody's lazy as hell. No, literally nobody competes with you once you actually start doing charting because everybody's lazy. I don't care who you are. Everybody's lazy. Even myself, I am lazy. I could do more. I know I can. But at least I'm fine with, openly calling myself lazy like that. Most people, they just keep saying, no, they're not. They have a busy schedule or they have things to worry about or excuses. Because when you want something, there's not a single excuse in the world that would take you out. You just make it happen. So yeah, just recognize that, everybody. You need to be trading Tesla. If you don't have no charts for this yet, that's on you. I have all the charts done on the Discord so that you could trade this efficiently. If I actually count how much we've made with Tesla within the last, since let's just say January, right? From January to now, we've definitely made over $1 million with just Tesla. I want you all to understand that. Like just right here, literally just right here. You see this bottom bit right here in July and June? Was it here or was it over here? No, it was over here. Just right here in June, this was like a $300,000-$400,000 area right here. With all these ups and downs and this major up here, that was just about $300,000-$400,000 right there. And then everything else was just playing it back and forth from the bottom going up, and from the top going down, from the bottom going up. We didn't play from the middle though. We stopped playing at the middle because we traded so many times at the middle point over here at 320, 330 that we decided not to trade in the middle over here. And it was the smart thing to do. Look how many times you got faked out from hitting the top and you just fell right back down to the bottom. And then when you hit the bottom, we bought again long. And then look, now you're running right back up to the top. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Let's go look at SPY now. Dr. SPY, what are we doing here? Let's see if I can sell my ES short here. We're up $2,000 on it. It's not bad. I'm just going to go ahead and sell it here, take my profit. And then once we go below number 4, I'm going to continue to buy into the shorts here. We're up 3,000 now. All right, sell. Sell! Oh, no. Wait, what am I doing? Wait, buy. Oh, I got to buy to close. You can't sell this. Got it. All right, we're done with that. Okay, we made 2.5K right there. Earlier we made, I don't even know. I forgot. It was like 3,000, 4,000. And then the trade before that, I think it was only like 600, 800. And then the first trade was a loss. We got margin called, not margin called, but we got stopped out. And then we went back in with the next trade. So just scalping here and there. And that's literally all you want to do with futures. You just literally want to scalp it. If you're holding for a long time on futures, it has to be for a reason. Like for instance, let's say, let me show you something. Let me teach you all something. So look at the weekly ranges, right? If you're looking at the weekly ranges like this, since yesterday you hit this quarter point and then you fell down to the middle, I want you all to think about this hypothetically with me. Again, you fell down from the quarter point to the middle. Today you opened up at the 1/8 point and now you're running to the 1/8 point. Once you hit the 1/8 point, you're probably going to fall down to the middle again. So if you're thinking about the market in terms of it basically continuing the bullishness and continuing the bullish trend, what you're going to find and what you're going to notice is that what you're basically saying is you know that this market should flow upwards. So if we look at the market like this, everybody, wouldn't we all agree that today looks like a day where it's going to be overly bullish? Because you already hit this level yesterday. Then you fell out the sky, hit the midpoint. Now you're back at the quarter point. Fell down to the 1/8 point this morning when you opened up. You actually opened up here. You didn't fall to it, right? Didn't really fall down anywhere from it. And then you hit the quarter point. Now you're above it, which means, of course, now you could run to the next point, which is up here at 638. So this is the reason as to why I told everybody yesterday we're going to look at 638 calls the next day, just because of this. So yeah, so far it's perfect. So remember, everybody, if you get below this quarter point, which is 635.89, if you get below that point, the market's just going to fall out the sky potentially. You could consolidate up here as well, just like around the midpoint. That can happen, yeah. But if it falls below the midpoint, I'm personally thinking that this is going to collapse because I'm looking for the next larger move, which is going to be a move straight down to 625. So yeah, I want to see this market fall down to 625 here. Okay, everybody. Excellent. Excellent, excellent, excellent. There we go. Scalp chase, scalp trade, scalp trade. Come on, everybody. Got to start the Congo line now. You know, I forgot I was on the YouTube thing all day today. I completely forgot about that. Oh man, I got to be more mature. We got to build a proper audience, not a bunch of lunatics. Be talking about random stuff. All right, everybody. So we're gonna have some fun here. Let's go trade some random names. Let's go trade something random here so we could build our experience. I want you to paper trade this if you've never traded any of these companies I'm about to show you. All right, so point blank, we finished all 30 Dow Jones stocks. We finished all restaurant stocks. We finished all... We didn't finish those yet. We finished all crypto stocks, all meme coins. The futures are not done yet. Some of them are done. So what... God damn. So what sector should we focus on, everybody? What sector do you think is going to blow up? because I thought space was going to blow up, and I was correct. I thought crypto was going to blow up. I think we all did as well, of course. So maybe we won't talk about crypto, but space, we were correct about it. Another sector we were correct about, again, was anything that has to deal with flying cars, anything that has to deal with veto ships, such as Blade, such as EVTL, EVEX, Archer. You have Joby. Joby managed to run all the way up to $21. We played puts right here on Joby last time at around 11. It worked out for a little bit, but then you started switching right back up on top. The reason why we played puts is because, honestly, anything that Trump signs ends up going down right after in terms of the sector. So you end up getting some type of dramatic uptrend with it. Take, for example, space. And then you get some dramatic downtrends. With space, we haven't got these downtrends. So I'm assuming that since this is such a new sector, it was kind of like when they first invested into the electric sector with, you know, the battery companies and electric vehicle companies. Remember when Joe Biden did that in 2020? So I feel like it's going to be a similar effect to the space and to the flying car sector. Meaning, we might have to deal with this for a couple more years of this going up now. So it's either going to be like that, or it's going to be basically a shutdown in the short term, and then we're basically going to be able to buy into this at like maybe $6 or $5. But yeah, I think Joby is in California, if I'm correct. Where are they located? Yeah, I don't know, somewhere in that, I think next to California. That's the reason why they're going up specifically the most, because they're a U.S. company. This one right here, this is a Chinese company, which is still going up, but not as aggressively. But it is a nice little sympathy play. All right, so electric vehicles. Let me see here. I guess we can now just move on to the NASDAQ. We're going to do all 3,000 NASDAQ stocks next. So remember, I finished 30 companies within 2 days, basically. I could have did it within a day. So that means if the NASDAQ has 3,000 companies, it would take me how many days? It would take me, if it takes me 1 day to do 30 names, I could probably do 50 names in a day if I'm moving really fast. So that's 50 a day. So how much is this? Oh my God. What is 3,000 divided by 50? That's 60 days. That's not bad. So by the end of the year, I'm going to be done with the whole entire NASDAQ. I'm going to be done with the whole entire Dow Jones. I'm done with the S&P 500. And next thing is just to basically do the semiconductors, extra space companies. What else do we got to do? Space companies. We have biotech. We haven't done biotech yet. So I have my whole entire list here. It's about 60 names that we're going to have to do here. So 60 names, it would take me about a day or two. And again, I'm not doing this with a bot because that's weak. I don't need a bot. I don't need an algorithm. I am the algorithm. So I don't need to have bots and all this. Honestly, I'm too lazy for that. I'll just do it myself. And then once I'm done with the whole entire market and all, how much stocks in total are there on this market? Let me check, everybody. I'll show you how you could check as well. So go here, go to trading view, go to products, go to super charts. Actually, no, not super charts. You're going to go back. Go to products, go to screeners. So these are all the stocks in the world here. At least the ones that have a good market cap. So let's go to market cap. Let's make sure it's over 200 million and above, or 300 million and above. So companies that have a market cap of 300 million and above that are also US based companies. There's 3,253 of them. So every single one of these companies, I'm going to do the charting on. And we're going to have to at least trade it once. So this is going to take about another year to finish this. In terms of the trading and actually testing these companies. So I can actually build and create books that teach people how to trade every single name. Every single sector. Because it's a little different, but it's very similar to one another. So the books are going to be, I'll fly through them. Practically, you know. But yeah. This is what goes into being the best in the world. This right here. Just doing as much as possible. Doing the most names. As many names as possible. as many charts as possible, because you start learning a lot of, very necessary and crucial just little aspects that you wouldn't normally learn had you had traded the same way or traded with one name. So you got that, everybody? Remember, if you're not doing this or you're not willing to do 30,000 charts, 3,000 charts, 20,000 charting charts, right? If you feel like you do not want to do that, I agree with you. Can you still make money and can you still be profitable in this market? No, wholeheartedly, yes, you can. Will you be the greatest to ever do it? No, you will not. I can guarantee that. So, yeah, I just want to have you guys understand that if you're not putting in the work like how I am right now, because remember, I don't need to do this. That's the first thing every single one of you need to understand is I do not need to do this. I turned 3K to 100K with just buying Tesla. Me doing this, it's taking it so far above and beyond that we literally are the best in the world at this point. I want you all to be confident with that. It's not me trying to, be unhumble or nothing weird like that. It's me simply stating the obvious, which is it took me 3 years to really notice that we were the best in the world. And no, yeah, we were. We've been the best for a long time. You know what's kind of funny? The best is not actually characterized by the level that you reach. Being the best in the world is only characterized by the motivation and devotion you have to actually achieve the best. Does everybody understand that? That's how you can basically tell who's going to be successful and who's not. Is who has that motivation that's just deeply driven. It just doesn't disappear. They're always up at night. They're always home fixing their charts. Even when they're outside, they're always on their iPad, right? As long as you could do that, I do honestly believe with every single one of you, or in every single one of you, that you could do this. And yeah, you just need that type of drive. If you don't have it, just do what you can, and then just go figure out if you want to, work on something else in life and you don't want to trade no more. Remember, it's not, you can't force it. I never had to force myself to trade besides those days where I was losing a crazy amount and I literally didn't even want to look at the charts. I would make myself be forced to look at the charts. All of a sudden, the previous day, everybody, didn't trade. I was the only one who traded. I was the only one who lost everything. Then the next day, everybody's trading and making money, and I'm by myself not making a single dime. And then everybody's making money around me. That's the best way to make yourself learn. A lot of people, they'll complain about that. That's what I'm saying. I don't know. It's weird. It's weird the way people kind of try to progress. I don't think they're really understanding what they're doing. That's also why this morning when I first started the live stream, I told everybody, notes. If you don't have your notes, just leave the chat. It's better for you not to hear what I have to say. So let's go ahead and check the notes channel. Okay, so Mansa had said he was going to post it. Mansa did not post it. This is a problem. This is a problemo. No notes on nobody else, and nobody improved it. So because nobody else improved their notes, this is what we're going to do from now on. So for the people who posted their notes to me, what I want you to do is call me whenever you get a chance, because I will no longer be going live as much as I am, as much as I've been doing it. I'm just going to start shutting things down. And then I'll talk to you guys personally, one-on-one, so I don't have to ruin the people who are doing what they're supposed to. Sounds like a plan, everybody? Yeah, because people are still not following the notes properly. They're still just half-assing it. It's just, I'm good. I'm not wasting my time here with people who just don't respect my time. If you did respect my time, you would do the notes properly. You would, you know what I mean, ask questions. You would call me at any time that you could throughout the day, because I'm always here for you guys. So what we need to do now is I'm going to have to go look for another group of people so I could teach. That's what we're going to have to do here. Because I want to teach. I love teaching. It's the funnest thing in the world. I don't like dealing with people who are unmotivated, because then you're going to make me unmotivated. Birds of a feather flock together. And that's not a bird that I want to be. So, naturally, I'm sure you all understand that that's one of the reasons why I haven't been that motivated recently. It's because literally nobody here does nothing in terms of work, right? Those who do the work, those who understand what they've done, you're not going to feel some type of way. If you feel some type of way about me saying that, again, good. That's proper. We're still going to hold the SPY puts here. I still want to see if the SPY is going to go lower. But other than that, we're going to turn everything off here, ladies and gentlemen, and then we're going to start going solo here. Because the Discord is not yielding the correct just flow, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start trading by myself. And yeah, I'm going to start making some big personal changes in my own life. So I'll see you guys later, all right? Remember, call me whenever you need me. But only call me if you did your notes or you need help doing your notes. If you didn't do your notes and you were just being lazy, don't even call me. Tomorrow's another day. Fix it. You can't fix it no more today, though. Again, if you didn't do your notes, you cannot call me or ask for a one-on-one no more. That's also something else that we're going to add to the list of kind of forceful measures so that everybody has to call me now. So I have to see their results so they can't just sit in the sidelines. And yeah, other than that, honestly, that'll be all for today, everybody. Fantastic trade in the beginning of the day. Second trade was a little